Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick lesson on this quote. And it says, experience tells you what to do. Confidence allows you to do it. And they said it was said by Stan Smith. But again, experience tells you what to do, and confidence allows you to do it. And this is a lesson that all of us throughout, all of us are the hopefully elect. This is a lesson that we're learning. This is what we are learning to do. Through experience with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and going through the various trials, various temptations, adversities that we face in our day-to-day throughout our lives, being in this truth, we are gaining experience and the confidence to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to do whatever it is, And we understand through the Spirit that with man it's impossible. But with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, nothing is impossible. And it's another quote which I'm gonna read this verse first. This is I'm gonna start at verse 23. It says Yahweh he tells his disciples how hard it is for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So this Matthew 19 starting at 23. Then said Yahweh to his disciples, verily I say unto you that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, or kingdom of the Most High. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, who then can be saved? But Yahweh beheld them and said unto them, with man, this is impossible. But with the Most High, all things are possible. Right? And so having that faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and trusting the process, all things become possible because you understand the one who controls it all and who ordains it, who set everything up, and it's a process to it, it's a process to being built up and having this type of confidence. See, the rich man in this situation didn't have the confidence to give away everything he had in hopes of gaining 100-fold in the kingdom of heaven. Because this is the same chapter where Yahweh told his disciples, for everything that you give up, I'm going to give you 100-fold, and you're going to have eternal life with it in the kingdom of heaven. If you read up, this what to go into. Yahweh told him, if you want to be perfect, give up everything you have, sell it to give it to the poor, sell what you have and give the money to the poor, and come follow me, bear your cross, and gain experience in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and gain the confidence to go through whatever it is you needed to go through. And he didn't have it, So that's why Yahweh gave this parable. That's why Yahweh told his disciples, what it is. It's not going to be easy for anybody in this world that has money or that's rich or has status to enter into the kingdom of heaven, because they're not going to want to give up their riches in hopes of gaining Yahweh and gaining everything back in the long run. They're not going to gain that experience that's needed for the times that's to come. That experience again with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And I wanted to even speak on that word impossible, because it's a quote that also says the word impossible literally has impossible in it. So it's nothing impossible to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And that's what I forgot exactly how it goes, but it says it has the word impossible in it. I don't know if I can look it up real quick. Yeah, I ain't go too much worry about it. But it has the word impossible in it. Yeah. So let me get this too. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So as you can see, just in the first 5 verses of Sirach, is letting you know if you come to serve the Lord, prepare to be tried and tested and gain experience in the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, increasing in faith, increasing in knowledge, wisdom, increasingly putting on the armor of the Heavenly Father, which that armor is very important, because that armor is also going to give you the confidence to go through what you need to go through. That's why Yahweh Shai says it in Revelations 2:10 and 3:10. This Revelation chapter 2:10, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried." See, if you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So he said, some of us gonna get thrown into prison, whoever lot it is, that we may be tried. And ye should have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. But the being faithful unto death, that comes with experience, because faith is a gift, but it's also something that has to grow. It's a gift that has to grow. Your faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has to constantly grow. And you'll have the confidence to go through what's in this, what we got to go through, whatever it is that you have to go through, And this is Revelations 3:10. But because thou hast kept the word of my patience, being patient and suffering throughout all these experiences that we go through, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And the main hour of temptation is going to come when that MOTB is implemented. Revelations 13-16. Society completely changes from the monetary system that is on to that digital system of having that charagma or Revelation 13-16 put into your hand or in your forehead, and you can't operate without it, And that's going to be the real trying and real testing, because then it's going to be put to the test if you truly trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to survive and take care of you in the world where if you take it, you forfeit, you lose the opportunity of salvation in the kingdom of heaven, being without going through the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. A lot of people now are saying they're not gonna take it. I mean, a lot of Jake saying they ain't gonna take it, they ain't gonna do this and do that. But that's all talk. It's gonna get put to the test. Revelation 13-16. A lot of people say they're not taking the mark. Well, it's gonna get put to the test. That's that. Your words are gonna get put to the test, and just saying it don't mean that you're not gonna do it. It still comes with a whole thing, armor, like which I'm gonna get that next. You have to put on the whole armor, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has to be with you. Wisdom and knowledge has to be the stability of that time. And people gonna be getting put to death that don't take it. And once your life is put on the line, then it's gonna really be known if you really truly serve the Lord, or if you just all talk, And that's for all of us. So again, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And again, Sirach 2:1. If you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So prepare to be tried, be tested, and constantly refined. That's why in verse 5 of Sirach chapter 2, it says gold is tried in the fire, acceptable men is in the furnace of adversity. So you're constantly being refined and prepared for what's to come. Now I'm gonna end it on this. This is Ephesians chapter 6, and I'm gonna read this in the AMP. Starting at 10, it says, "In conclusion, be strong in the Lord, draw your strength from him, and be empowered through your union with him, and in the power of his boundless might." Going back to the quote, experience tells you what to do, Uh, yeah, experience tells you what to do. Confidence allows you to do it. In conclusion, be strong in the Lord, draw your strength from him, and be empowered through your union with him and in the power of his boundless might. That comes through experience. That comes through constant exposure of being exposed to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and dealing in the spirit. That's where that confidence comes through, drawing your strength from from him. Because again, our people don't understand that. Those that's, not of the elect or the hopefully elect, they don't really understand that. What it means to draw their strength from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. In all these various situations we find ourselves in, or, these things that we have to endure, wisdom and knowledge is what keeps us stable. It's already in effect, But in the times to come, that's where it's going to matter the most. Jacob's trouble and the time of temptation, when Revelation 13 and 16 isn't implemented, that's when Isaiah 33 and 6 is going to matter the most. But in our day-to-day, in our life, these situations, we utilize the wisdom and knowledge, Isaiah 33 and 6. So it's like a most of this that's being worked out. We understand that. So verse 11, it says, put on the full armor of the Most High, for his precepts are like the splendid armor of a heavily armed soldier, so that you may be able to successfully stand up against all the schemes and the strategies and the deceits of the devil. See? So experience tells you what to do. Confidence allows you to do it. And putting on that whole armor, it says, for his precepts are like splendid armor, so that we may be able to successfully stand against all the schemes and strategies and deceits of the devil, and that's come from that confidence in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Again, something that has to grow, not something that's given. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, contending only with physical opponents, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly supernatural places. Yeah, so Esau, these elites, warlocks, enchanting, putting all types of enchantments, all types of spells out to try to and destroy the nation of Israel, and to try to destroy your spiritual connection with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. This is what they're constantly doing day and night, So we have to constantly put on the spiritual armor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in order to combat this. And they're doing it now more than ever because the time is short, and he knows that he has a short time in his kingdom. And the main target is those that truly believe. It's not for those that don't believe, because he already know that he already got them. He wants the ones that believe. Verse 13. Therefore put on the complete armor of the Most High, so that you will be able to successfully resist and stand your ground in the evil day of danger, and having done everything that the crisis demands, to stand firm in your place, fully prepared, immovable, victorious. See? So it said that you will be able to successfully resist and stand your ground in the evil day. Experience tells you what to do. Confidence allows you to do it. That means all of this comes through experience. Putting on that complete armor of the Most High, it comes through experience. Because there's a lot of situations where, you don't find yourself in where the Lord probably, he wanted you to do something in a certain way, or with a certain mindset, or have a certain amount of patience. And you might not have, just give an example. You might have lacked somewhere, and upon, the resolution of that situation, or whatever the case may be, and you examine it, when you go through an exam, you start, okay, I could have did this better. I could have did that better, but now I understand, now I know, or you might have to been patient for whatever situation it was, but in your patience of being, in your patience while you were waiting, you started to learn or develop a new mindset, a better enhanced mindset of how to look at the situation. So when when the conclusion of the situation happened, you came out stronger and better, more spiritual or spiritually minded to be able to handle that type of situation, whether it was stressful or long suffering, whatever the case may be. It's all about growth. But being able to do so will help you for the times that's to come, because the lessons that we are learning is it's like a spiritual gem that only the hopeful elect are in, you know. And I might make the title something along those lines or something. But I'm gonna read 13 again. Therefore, put on the complete armor of the Most High, so that you will be able to successfully. See, it says successfully resist. So it's a lot of Israelites that's not putting on the armor, and they won't be able to successfully resist. This is Matthew 25, the first couple verses, or the first parable Yahweh gives. The 5 wise versions and the 5 foolish versions. The 5 wise is putting on the complete armor so they can successfully resist and wait upon the Lord, and stand your ground in the evil day of danger, and having done everything that the crisis demands, to stand firm in your place, fully prepared, immovable, victorious. So stand firm and hold your ground, having the tightened the wide band of truth. And I want to get that footnote. It said, literal girded your loins. It says a phrase often found in the Bible is an urgent call to get ready for immediate action or a coming event. Right. The phrase is related to the type of clothing worn in ancient times before any vigorous activity. The loose ends of clothing, tunics, cloaks, mantles, etc., had to be gathered up and tucked into the wide band worn around the midsection of the body. Right. Because, the loins is going into your lower part. Basically, like they say gird up the loins. That's basically like I'm trying to see how people would say it in today's time. Basically like how they go into your balls or something like that. That would be I can't think of an actual saying that how people would relate it today, but like how somebody would say like, get get the balls to do whatever it is you need to do. But it also going to gird up the loins of your mind. So, prepare your mind, because, be brave enough to do what you need to do. Now I'm going to get this one. I'm going to skip the other section. It said gird up your mind or gird up your heart are examples of, or variants of this phrase, and call for mental or spiritual preparation for a coming challenge. So that's absolutely right. Now it says stand firm and hold your ground, having tightened the wide band of truth, personal integrity, moral courage around your waist, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness and upright heart. So it said to tighten the wide band of truth, which is your personal integrity, moral courage. A lot of Israelites are finna be exposed for not having integrity or not keeping their integrity in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, compromising their integrity just to survive, just to live, or just to do whatever it is they needed to do. That's the nature of Esau. That's exactly what he did. He compromised the integrity of his birthright, or his integrity, and he compromised his birthright just for a simple meal. And he didn't have faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that the Lord could have, allowed him to endure a little longer and wait for his meal so that he can, continue on his day. And when the time came for his blessing, he would have still had the blessing. He didn't have faith in the Lord. And he just immediately gave it away. He was like, man, I don't care about the order that the Lord got. The firstborn get this portion and everybody else get the, he didn't care, He compromised that integrity. He didn't have no respect unto the Lord. So he didn't deserve it, And it's a moral courage. Esau is an immoral person, immoral man. I think that's in Isaiah, it's like in Hebrews chapter 12, where it talk about, I believe it's 12, or it's 10. It's either chapter 10 or chapter 12 where we're going to how Esau, he's an immoral person, you know, and he was willing to sell his birthright just for a single meal. And it said, around your waist, having to put on the breastplate of righteousness and upright heart. And that heart also goes into your mind. So you having a righteous mindset and mind about, you know, basically how Yahweh Shemawashah want the Israelite man and woman to be on earth, instead of compromising, again, your integrity and your morality just to survive. Because that's how bad it's going to be. People are going to compromise basically who they are, and it's going to show that they don't have trust in Yahweh Shemawashah just to survive. It says, and having strapped on your feet, a reference to Roman soldiers' shoes, which were studded with hobnails to give them stability on the battlefield. It says, and having strapped on your feet the gospel of peace in preparation to face the enemy with firm-footed stability and the readiness produced by the good news. See, the good news is the gospel. So it said, the gospel, having strapped on your feet the gospel of peace in preparation to face the enemy. We had that awareness. We had the foresight to know what's about to happen. We understand this, that it's going to be like this. And this is what Yahweh prepared us for. He was like, look, the servant not greater than his master. They persecuted me, they're going to persecute you. And he put it on the spirit of the apostles that he has sent forth. And I mean apostles of that time, but even in our time too. You know, but the apostles of that time, and Paul was like, look, if we suffer with him, we shall also reign with him. You know, if we have to die for this truth, you know, he gonna raise us back to life. You know, it was another precept I was gonna quote. I done forgot. But Yahweh said it in Revelation chapter 2 and 9. He said, look, be faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. But that's being firm-footed, with firm-footed stability. And now I'm going to get a quick precept, because I've been quoting it all day. Well, all lesson. It's Isaiah chapter 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time. See, that's the stability of the, you know, that's going to keep you firm-footed. And strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Shemawashah is his treasure. So that's what's going to keep you firm-footed. And the readiness produced by the good news. Above all, lift up the protective shield of faith. Let's see what that footnote say. It says, the Greek word refers to the large Roman soldier's shield designed to protect the entire body. It had an iron frame. It was covered in several layers of leather. When soaked in water before the battle, the shield could put out the fiery missiles thrown at the enemy. So it says, above all, lift up the protective shield of faith, which covers the entire body, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. And see, it said above all. So it said above everything else, you need faith, you know, because this is where it all starts. You need faith in Yahweh Shemawashah, so that when these different temptations, like the arrows that it's talking about, come your way, you will be able to extinguish them without being harmed, without being injured, you know, various injuries. And those injuries, if left untreated, can lead to your death, you know. And it's the same way in this today's time. Various injuries from the evil one, you know, from what Esau is coming with, and in preparation for his end, he's gonna have that one last go at Jake. Those injuries that a lot of people are gonna endure, they're gonna be left untreated, and it's gonna lead into their death. But it's not gonna be like that for the elect. And like I said, the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So you're going to be fully armored and fully prepared to fight the battles that's to come. And all this comes through experience and exposure to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And that, coupled with the armor and wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which this is a part of it, it's going to give you the confidence to go through what's needed. And I'm going to read verse 18 and leave it there. So it says, with all prayer and petition, pray with specific requests at all times, on every occasion, and in every season in the Spirit. And with this in view, stay alert with all perseverance and petition and interceding in prayer for all the Most High's people, for all of the elect. See, that's why I say all saints. It's going into the elect, and then eventually it'll be for now it's for the elect, because we know the Lord is not concerned with 2/3 of our people, but he's concerned with his elect. And the more you pray to him, the more you get comfortable with actually talking to him and asking him for things. And the more you build a relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's going to come through for you. He's going to, want to do for you, because he's going to save his elect, no matter what the situation is, even if they have to die for the sake of Yahushua, he's still going to come through for his elect, So he wants to do this. And that's why I say with all prayer, or praying always, we ask the Lord for what we need. Whatever it is we need more faith. We need, you want more wisdom, knowledge, understanding, whatever the case may be. The Lord is going to come through. He's not going to hold out on whatever it is that you ask for. He's ready for you to ask for him, And it says on every occasion, every season in the Spirit. And with this in view, stay alert. So we got to stay prepared, stay aware. So again, just to quote the quote, experience tells you what to do. Confidence allows you to do it. So Lord will, this was an edifying lesson. And on that note, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that were well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.